Trumpets! Today we are going to learn the first 10 songs of your book. But first, I would like for us to just buzz a little bit. So we're going to take our trumpets and take the mouthpieces off if you put it on. And we're just going to have the mouthpiece and our buzzing lips. So what we're going to start with is seeing if we can actually buzz a long whole note for 4 counts. And we're going to rest for 4. And this is a lot like the first odd songs in our book. So 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. And we're going to see if we can do that rhythm here with our lips. So we're going to start together. 1 and 2 together. 2 together. Breathe. All right. Very good. So next what we're going to do is talk about how you're going to put, by the way, when you put your mouthpiece into your horn, please do not pop the top of your mouthpiece. It does make a different sound, a kind of interesting sound, but if you do that, you'll create a vacuum inside of your piping, and it will cause the mouthpiece to stick inside your horn. And when that happens, you'll probably panic and want to get it out and ask your parents if they can take pliers to get it out, and you will mess up the lead pipe, okay? So first off, when you've got your mouthpiece and you're about to put it into your horn, make sure that you stick it into the receiver, the mouthpiece receiver part, which is here, and you give it a quarter turn. There is no need to pop it. If you do get it stuck, it takes this. This is called a bobcat, and it has 2 pieces of metal, and you attach it to the underside here, and you have to relieve it of the tension, and it pops out. So do not use pliers. If you need help, drop it off at the school, and I'll use the bobcat to take your mouthpiece off. Do not use pliers, because that can mess up your whole horn. All right, so first off, we stick the mouthpiece into the mouthpiece receiver and give it a quarter turn. Next, we are actually going to learn 5 notes today, and we're going to start with G. G is the second line on the treble clef staff, and we are going to play number 1 first, okay? So number 1 is no hands, Mom. There's no fingers up on top. Make sure that you are wrapping around, this is my left hand actually, I'm wrapping it around the casing, and my thumb just automatically goes right here to the thumb rest. And my other fingers here, I put 2 fingers up beside the casing, and you should have a ring holder here for your trigger. So you should have a ring in place. If you don't, look for it in your case and make sure that you adjust it so that you can reach it. So fingers 1 and 2 go to wrapping around the casing, and then finger number 3 is into the trigger slide, and then 4 is in the little hook here. Now that leaves the right hand to just gently rest on top of the valves, valve 1, 2, and 3. And your pinky can be either on top or you can hook it under, which is fine. And my thumb is just resting here, okay? It's just resting so that I'll be able to play. Okay, so, but no valves are down for G. That's the note we want. So we're going to play number 1 together. Ready? 1 and 2 together, play. 1 and 2 together, play. 1 and 2 together, play. 1 and 2 together, breathe. 2, 3, 4. Those are the rest counts. Okay, so like I said, that was number 1. We're now going to jump down to number 3. And number 3 is F. It's the first space on the treble clef. F for trumpet is the first valve. So we're going to have our first finger press down the very first valve. This is what it looks like when we're doing this way, first valve. This is what it looks like on this side, okay? All right, My right hand is on top. My left hand is holding the instrument steady. And F sounds like this. Remember, G was. F is. Now let's try number 3 together. Number 3 is F for 4 counts with a whole note and 4 beats of rest. Okay, let's try it. 1 and 2 together, breathe. 1 and 2 together, breathe. 1 and 2 together, breathe. I'm also starting this with my tongue. Let's try it one more time. 1 and 2 together, breathe. 1 and 2 together, breathe. 1 and 2 together, breathe. Last time, 2 together, breathe. All right, very good. Next, we're going to jump to number 5. This is called heading down. And as you can imagine, we're going to drop down to our next note, which is E. G was open, F is 1, and E is going to be 1 and 2. So 1 and 2 are down. This is the way the E sounds. Now what we're going to do is we're going to play number 5 together. 2 fingers down. 1 and 2 together, breathe. 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 Excellent. You guys are doing great. Now we're going to go on to number 7. Number 7 is D. I'm still holding my hand just like this. I've got my 2 fingers and my ring finger is in the ring and my pinky's just to the side. I've got my thumb over here in the hook, and now my right hand is going to play D. For D, we're going to use first valve and third valve. Okay, first valve and third valve. Second valve is still up. It sounds like this. Okay, now we're going to play number 7. This is D. 1 and 2 together, play. 1 and 2 together. 1 and 2 together. 1 and 2 together. 1. You might have noticed I hit a higher note one time. What happened was my band face, my embouchure, wasn't ready yet. And so when I started to put air through, a burst of air went through faster and went to a higher note. So be careful. If you get that note to bump up and come out accidentally, it is okay. Just make sure you set your band face first, right? Set your band face, your embouchure first, and then apply air to it. Okay, let's do touchdown. Touchdown is the 5th note, and this is C. For C, we go back to just like G, okay? It is open, so no fingers are on the valves. We're just lifting up. If you look at your diagram in your book, it has 3 little circles, but nothing is filled in. So that means all 3 valves are up. And it sounds lower than the G. That's our C. Remember, G was higher. So C is lower, and it should be a little easier to get out. Matter of fact, at the beginning, some players even play C first instead of G when we're trying to get the higher notes. So it is okay if you did that. If you did that, you might want to go back to the beginning of the video and listen and see if you're getting and matching the same pitch. Okay, number 9. Trumpets up. 1 and 2 together, play. 1 and 2 together. 1 and 2 together, breathe. 1 and 2 together, breathe. Did you hear it? I did it again. Okay, so you really have to set that band face up before you start to play. It's hard to play and talk. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go right back to the beginning. We are not going to play number 10 yet. We're actually going to go back to number 2. Because now that we know all of our 5 notes, we can change them up and play quarter notes and different notes when they come about. So let's go to number 2. Number 2 is G, but it has quarter notes. So we have to play 4 quarter notes and 4 beats of rest. Let's see if you can play it with me. 1 and 2 together, play. 1 and 2 together. 1 and 2 together, breathe. 1 and 2 together, breathe. All right, oops. Okay, next we're gonna go to number 4. Number 4 was F. Do you remember how to play F? That's right, you put your first finger down for F. Let's try it. This is number 4 with the quarter notes. Now we're gonna actually play F, 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 then rest and move your fingers ready to play. G, 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 rest, rest, move your fingers ready to play. And F, 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 rest and move your fingers ready to play. G, 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 rest, 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 rest. Now, while we're resting, you might have noticed we have to think ahead. You can't think about the note that you're on. You have to think ahead to the next note. So make sure that you're thinking ahead and looking ahead at what notes to play. You should also be counting, and if it helps you to tap your foot to count the steady counts and beats, that's a really good thing to do so you have a pulse. Let's try it together. We're going to start with F, first vowel. 1 and 2 together, play. Rest, rest, ready to play. Rest and rest, let's get ready to play. Rest and rest, now get ready to play. Very good, excellent. Next, we're going to go to number 6, and number 6 has 3 notes. So we're going to play E, which is, what is it? It is 1 and 2, E. Then we're going to go to F, which is 1, that's right, and G, which is open, that's right. So let's see if we can play it. Actually, let's practice with just the fingers. Ready? 1 and 2, move your fingers with me. E, 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 E. 2 together, play. And E, E, F, F, G. Very good, excellent, there we go. Now let's see if we can play it with buzzing. 1 and 2 together and play. 2 together and play. 2. Let's try it again. 2, together and play. All right. Next, we are going to go to number 8. 8 has even more notes. So we have a D, we have an E, we have a G, and we have an F. So we have 4 notes. Let's see if you remember how to play D. D is, that's right, 1 and 3. 1 and 3. So, and then E is 1 and 2, and G is open, and F is 1. So let's see if we can finger through first. Ready? 1 and 2 and ready, finger through. D, 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 E, 2 together and open. G, 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 F. There's a repeat sign, so we're going to play it again. D, 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 E, rest, rest, then open. G, 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 F. Let's see if you're able to play it together. All right, we're going to set up. We're sitting up nice and tall and straight. Our feet are flat. Make sure that you're holding your instrument properly. And our first note is D. 1 and 2 together and play. 2 together and play. 2 together and repeat. 2 together and play. Okay, we are ready for number 10. Number 10 has all 5 notes. We have C, which is open, but it's low C. We have D, which is 1 and 3. Sorry, 1 and 3 is D. We have G, which is open, F, which is 1, and E, which is 1 and 2. Okay, let's say it very slowly and move our fingers around, okay? We're going to start at the beginning. 1 and 2 together and say the letters. C, 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 D, 2, 3, play. G, G, F, F, E, 2, together, beginning, go, open. C, 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 D, 2, 3, open for G, 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 F, F, E, 2, 3, 4. Very good. Okay, let's try it. We are going to play number 10 together, twice. 1 and 2 together and C. 2 together and play. 2 together and play. 2 together and play. 3, 4. Very good. Excellent. All right, so the one last thing I want to share with you is I was having kind of a sticky valve with 2. And if that happens to you while you're playing, what I'd like you to do is unscrew this cap here. So there's a cap on the top and there's one on the bottom. We're not going to unscrew that one on the bottom, but we're going to unscrew the second valve that was sticky on top until it comes all the way up. Then we're going to just lift this up slightly and see where it changes from kind of the pretty gold color, and there's even a little spring inside there where the hole is. We're not going to put valve oil there. we're actually going to put valve oil where the holes are here that are silver. So we're just going to hold it up enough to be able to put a little bit of valve oil on the silver part. Now you can take it out of the casing, and when you do, it looks like this. That is okay if you do that. You just have to be super careful. It's always best to have a cloth with you so that you don't get oil on the floor or especially carpet. All right, so I am just putting a couple dots. It doesn't take a lot. A couple dots there and a couple dots there where it looks like Swiss cheese. What is happening is when we push this valve down, the different holes line up with the piping, and that creates the piping to be longer or shorter depending on the note. So that's what we want it to have happen. So those holes have to pretty much line up with the pipes, and in order to do that, there's a little plastic guide. You probably saw that guide just a minute ago, that little plastic guide right there. There it is. That has to click and line up inside the casing. So you're going to drop that down, and you can go ahead and turn the finger button and it will probably lock in place. That's what just happened a minute ago. If it doesn't, you can turn it and it will actually make a clicking sound. So I'm going to go ahead and screw it down. And when I turn the button, it makes a little click. And matter of fact, once it's in line, it won't even turn anymore. And you want to make sure all of your finger buttons do that, because if they are, that little plastic bit is lined up and it's lined up with the piping. Once you put valve oil on, make sure you put your cap back on the bottle, and it should move freely. These are like pistons in a car, so they have to be oiled regularly. If it gets kind of goopy though, because there's been too much oil, that's when we actually have to kind of clean it. And I'll show you how to clean it a little bit later. We shouldn't have to do that just yet, but now you know how to add a couple drops of your valve oil if you need to do that. All right, well, I hope you had fun playing your first 10 songs, and I look forward to listening to them in either Essential Elements or Smart Music. Bye, guys.